All right, and welcome back. We're ready for part two. We've already done the introduction with our overview. We did the big part one that was our learning how to breathe, figuring out what do we need to let go of from our past, learning how to identify those core emotions from the emotions and feelings wheel, and how to get in touch with them, and then to learn to jot them down, to brain dump, to maybe write a letter so that we can move through. So, a big heartfelt welcome to our part two, sharing this screen here. Hopefully, you can see all of it. And let's see if it'll let me do that. So, self assessment for the present. Steps to growth, discovering 8 dimensions of wellness, reflecting and rating ourselves on the wellness wheel, connecting the dots of how we score ourselves, and then reassessing each month. So, our wellness self assessment for right now, where you're at today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now. We have the 8 interdependent dimensions of wellness. We have the physical, what you eat, how you move, how you rest, and our medical conditions. We have our intellectual health, our skills, our knowledge, how we share it, our emotional health, what we're understanding, how we're expressing our emotions and coping with things, our social, how we relate and connect with others, our spiritual, which may be with faith based, but it may also be non faith based. It may be our purpose, our meaning, our value in life, our work or volunteer and hobbies. Those are kind of all interrelated. Some of us have paid positions, some of us volunteer, some of us are stay at home parents. It just depends. So, what gives you that feeling of contributing to the family, the home, the work, the ministry, whatever it is? Financial. That wellness is our security plus the freedom to spend saving for our future so that we don't have to work until our last days. And lastly, the environment. Both the safety we feel in our home, physical and emotional safety to express ourselves, the calm in our home if we're cluttered everywhere and always distracted, and do we have fresh air when we go outside, kind of our true environment that we're taking care of. So, do you give attention to any, some, or all of these dimensions over the course of a day, a week, or a month? I'm definitely curious. So, we have the first 4 dimensions of wellness. If we neglect any of them over time, ultimately, our health, our well being, and quality of life will be impacted. So, these first 4: physical, intellectual, emotional, and social. We've touched on these a little bit, right? What are you eating? How are you moving? How are you sleeping? And what's the state of your medical health? Once something happens medically, a lot of the times everything else goes out the window because if we're not taking care of our physical and mental health, then we can't really do much anything else. So, intellectual, how do we respond positively to challenges? How do we share our gifts with others? Because every single one of you has a gift. Emotionally, understanding, expressing, and coping with our feelings. And don't forget, both are positive and are negative. Oh, and I caught a little error here. I see peaceful, powerful, and joyful, and that got cut off. That's cute. It looks like Joe. So if you look for Joe, just think joy. And finally, our social, relating and connecting positively to others at home, at work, in our community, with your hobbies, your social interactions. Super important. Our next 4 are going a little bit deeper. Our spiritual wellness. What is your meaning and purpose in your life? In Community Bloom, we really want you to feel like you have meaning and purpose in your life, that your life will reflect your values, your beliefs, and your morals. And again, it may or may not include religious or faith based activities. Your work, your volunteer, and your hobbies, finding satisfaction in how we spend our time. Financial. Well, managing money for both your present and your future needs. That's really important. Feeling secure, but not overly concerned and tight about money, while making choices. We all have choices so that we can enjoy life now and in the future. And finally, the environmental piece, responsibly caring for your environment, your community, and your home space, your clean air, your clean water, and your clean environment around you. Are you physically and emotionally safe at home? Is there a clean space for calm around you? Is there one room or space in your house that you can go to just decompress? And when you're outside, do you have respect for nature and all the species living in it? So next is our wellness wheel. This has been a little bit confusing for people, so we want to take a little time. And if this is confusing for you, you're not alone. So we're going to give you time to look at it. We've got it to where you can print it out. You can spend some time on it. So this talks about the 8 different areas of wellness. And you can, in the center, you are not doing well. You're at a 0. So on the scale of 0 to 6, that's where you're going to mark it. So 6, yay, this is awesome in my life. I feel physically fit. My environment is safe. My financial health is awesome. My brain is engaged and I love it. You might be 6s. Well, good for you, but most of us are not. Most of us are somewhere in the middle of all 8 of these areas. So again, you can blow this up on your device if you need to, or on your tablet, whatever you need. So the important thing is to write the date, maybe choose a color for that date, and to mark it. So if emotional, I might be at a 2. Socially, I might be at a 4. Spiritually, I might be at a 1. I might be at a 6. Depends on what's right for you. So take some time to look at this and really see where you're at. And again, don't forget to date it. All right. We also have this great handout on our shades of emotions. And this was written by a teacher, and she went to the paint store and she decided, you know how sometimes we don't understand the different degrees of the emotions, but we might understand, oh, this is a bright blue and this is a really light blue. So in this handout, and we've got it there, it talks about both the positives and the negative emotions, and what is loving, what is happy or content, what is confident or powerful, but also the negatives. When we're feeling doubtful, we might be a little hesitant, we might be feeling really insecure, we might be really distrustful, or skeptical. So for this scale, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4 of, that's really severe. And I know sometimes it can be hard to see these. So on the bottom for mean, somebody might be a little rude to you. That's stage 1. Well, they're a little rude. You can dismiss that. Oh, hurtful. Oh, I don't want to be around them. Cruel. I need to set a boundary. And this last one, that's really hard to see. Malicious. Malicious, which you need to distance yourself from that person if they are intentionally trying to be cruel, hurtful, and rude to you, and they just kind of keep after you. So that's a little bit more intentional. So I thought that was really, really interesting. So this is the end of part 2. So now's a good time to pause, and I will stop it here, and you can take a break, and we'll see you for part 3 in a minute.